I've been growing my hair out for over a year now, and along the way, I've run into some of the more common problems like frizziness and itchy scalp. So in today's video, I figured I would give you all some quick tips that I've learned in my year of growing my hair out and trying to care for it about how you can best care for longer hair. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tyler Warlow and I make videos on self-improvement topics. If this topic sounds interesting to you, let's go ahead and jump into the video. If you're finding that you're dealing with frizziness or itchy scalp pretty commonly, I'm gonna give you some pretty basic tips that you can start implementing to start working on and improving that. First up is gonna be one that a lot of people might not think about, especially when they have longer hair, and that's that you want to be gentle with it. As guys, especially when we have short hair, we're not very careful with it. When we get out of the shower, we just kind of ruffle a towel through it pretty roughly to dry it off, and it's done drying in a few short minutes. But once you start growing your hair out, it's pretty different. Your hair starts holding on to moisture a lot longer and it holds a lot more of it. So what most people end up trying to do in response is drying their hair rougher. They run that towel through and they really scrunch up their hair, trying to get as much water out of it as possible. What a lot of people don't realize is when your hair is wet, it's actually pretty weak. So when you're being really rough with it, especially when towel drying it, you can actually cause breakage or damage to the hair shaft. This can lead to frizziness or short little hairs throughout your overall hair that can end up not looking very great as you're trying to grow your hair out. Some tips that you can do to rectify this is stop immediately towel drying. If you are going to do a towel dry, just do a soft pat to get some of the excess water off, but then let it air dry. And if you're going to brush your hair, let it air dry a little bit, but not quite all the way, and then brush your hair. Because when your hair is wet, like I said already, it's pretty weak, so you can cause damage just by brushing your hair. But when your hair is dry and you try to brush your hair, the ends of your hair can curl around the hairbrush and actually get pulled and tug and break as well. So a lot of people tend to think that it's best to do that brushing in between the stages of it being really wet and fully dry. If you're finding that you're still dealing with frizziness and you don't quite want to deal with products yet, you can then also try to get something like a silk pillowcase. This is because the silk pillowcases are generally much smoother than a cotton pillowcase, so it's not going to have any of that friction building up when you're sleeping, which can lead to less breakage and less overall frizziness. Next up is a mistake that a lot of guys make, especially when they are growing their hair out. And that's gonna be that you do not want to shampoo your hair every day. A lot of guys do this when they have short hair. And the reason it doesn't end up looking super great when you start growing your hair out is because when you do this, it's stripping the natural oils out of your hair. Natural oils are what help to hold in the moisture within your hair. So when you're constantly stripping them out, it can tend to make them look dry and damaged. You might not notice this as much when you have short hair because the hair just is so short. It doesn't really have the ability to frizz that much. But as you start growing your hair out and you start doing this every day, you'll start to notice it much more quickly. It's recommended that you can go like 4 to 5 days without shampooing, because this is going to allow the natural oils in your hair to build up and just naturally take care of your hair before you strip them again. Now, of course, when you do shampoo, you're gonna wanna make sure that you then use a conditioner. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, what if I go to the gym or I do some sort of physical labor where I do get sweaty and gross pretty much every day? I have to wash my hair, right? And you'd be correct in saying that, but you don't have to wash your hair with shampoo every day. You really just want to have something that can help you rinse out the grease and the grime. And so personally, I just use a daily wash conditioner. The conditioner helps to rinse out the sweat and everything, but it also works to continue to moisturize my hair and help keep those oils. And then as I notice that my hair is starting to look a little bit more greasy, that's when I will go ahead and wash my hair with shampoo. This is going to be a little bit different for everyone. Like I said, the general rule of thumb can be 4 to 5 days. But if you're someone who deals with an oily scalp or goes to the gym more often, then you might want to do it every 2 to 3 days. Do a little bit of experimentation and figure out what works best for you and your hair type. And speaking of hair type, I now want to move on to my last tip for taking care of your longer hair. And that's going to be doing some experimentation and finding hair products that work for you. For example, I'm someone with pretty fine hair and I have a tendency to get itchy scalp, which means that I might not always have a lot of moisture in my hair. So for someone like me, I want to look into something like a leave-in conditioner, but an unfortunate thing I run into because my hair is so fine, with most leave-in conditioners, it ends up leaving my hair looking pretty flat and non-voluminous because most leave-in conditioners are like creams or oils. And because my hair is so fine, it just weighs it down. So in my case, I might look for a leave-in conditioner that's a lighter, more mist-like conditioner. Whereas if you're someone who has much thicker hair, then you might want to look for more of those oily or creamy leave-in conditioners. This also pertains to your styling products. I tried to use a mousse and it turned out that the mousse had alcohol in it, and unfortunately because of my dry scalp, having that alcohol in the mousse would just cause my scalp to dry out even more, which just left my head feeling super itchy and my hair not looking super great because I was constantly scratching my head. So I switched back to a pomade and in my opinion, it looks so much better. And so for you, you're gonna need to take some time to do some experimentation. You're gonna find things that you don't like and things that you do like, but find the products that work best for you and how you want to style your hair. For instance, I deal with a lot of baby hairs around my hairline, so I use that pomade to help slick them back and make them less noticeable. Again, it's going to depend person to person, but take some time, figure out what you like and what looks best for you. But that's going to bring us to the end of today's video. I hope that y'all found it to be helpful or informative. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to join me along in this self-improvement journey. If you have any of your own thoughts, ideas, or opinions, please be sure to leave a comment down below. I like to read and respond to all of them. If you're interested in more videos like this one that are based on confidence and personal appearance, be sure to check out this video right here where I talk about how to grow out your hair. If you're more interested in my most recent stuff, be sure to check out this video right here. But until the next time, this is Tyler Warlow, signing off.